that me moving around? I can't tell if that's another player or not. Uh-oh. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jade Monkey. We're back here in DayZ. We're on official. We're on console. Specifically, we're on the Xbox, but we have something very special today. Check this out. I'm on a live server, so I have to be very careful with this. If I hit start, look in the lower left-hand corner. It says 108. That's crazy, and I'll confirm that I'm on Xbox. You can see the controller here. What? How is that possible? 108 isn't on Live Branch yet, not even on PC, let alone over on the console. Well, check it out. They made experimental 108 available for just the Xbox right now, which is crazy. That's super cool. So, I mean, you can obviously tell because we have a Canopy Tent here, but I know currently it's just for the Xbox, I think mostly because the PlayStation 4 doesn't have an early access program, because I believe this falls under that category. It's like that. So I believe that's why we don't have that for the PlayStation 4, at least as of yet. I really hope in the future that PlayStation 4 opens that up a bit, has an early access program to open up not only early access games, but things like this, which are really nice to have experimental available. So let's hope that happens sometime in the future for PS4, right? So yeah, check it out. So it's 108 experimental on the Xbox, which is nutty. Let me go ahead and take this next door real quick. So there was a tweet, and they put this out today. Is it today? I think it was today or yesterday, one of the two. Okay, so let me go to the tweet. Okay, right here, the tweet says, "We're happy to announce the launch of Xbox Experimental. Xbox players who own a digital copy of DayZ can now help test the 108 update." That's crazy. And then they had a post. It goes over here. Sorry, I know I can't bring this up on screen, but I'll show you here. I'm going to try to walk next door and read this at the same time. This could be a terrible idea, so bear with me. I'd like to keep this tent, as we will be streaming this and playing this live on stream soon enough, and I'd like to use some of this new stuff to see, you know, what the differences are, and see if we can break things, see what major changes we have for base building, all that good stuff. So let me see if I can walk over next door and not get clapped. Bear with me. Okay, so this is going to be tricky. It says, "We have good news for the DayZ Xbox players. In the past, we've been testing the upcoming updates exclusively on PC. Today, that changes. We're launching DayZ..." Sorry, I'm trying to do this at the same time. "Experimental on Xbox, currently running game update 108. Clearly, that's what we're using right now. It says, "which allows all players who own DayZ to access the upcoming 108 update," which is stellar. I can't express that enough already. It's super cool. It says, "The DayZ experimental branch is not just a taste of what's to come, it's an effort to locate and fix all bugs and ensure a smooth launch of the update on consoles." Yes, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. So, okay, it says, "To access the DayZ experimental, you'll need to own a copy of DayZ. Owners of digital copies of DayZ, which is most, will be able to test the update immediately, while the owners of the physical copy will be granted access with the future experimental updates," so apparently not 108 for disc owners, unfortunately, at least this time around. It says, "To download the update, simply search for DayZ Experimental on the Microsoft Store, or use the My Games apps menu and install it," which is pretty cool. Yeah, so you just go to the Microsoft Store and search just DayZ Experimental. By the time you're done typing in the EX, it should autocomplete it, and you'll get it. So it's a separate download. It is 10 gigs, just like the main game. It'll have a red background, so it'll be fairly easy to spot as well. So that's good. And we've got some... Well, okay, here we go. It says to submit your feedback, because again, this is about testing, because we really want to make sure things like desync, frame rate issues, actual... Is that my footsteps or somebody else's? I think it's just delayed footsteps on me. Dude, I'm already scared. Okay, sorry. This says, "Please visit the feedback tracker and follow the instructions there. You also welcome to discuss the changes for offering suggestions on the official DayZ forums." Okay, and that comes to their website as well. It says, "If you have specific questions about the experimental update, feel free to get in touch with our Twitter, Facebook page, or Discord server." Okay, so we have FAQs, which are pretty cool, and it's just going to go over a couple of the topics that are probably the most pressing. And let me see if I can. I'm trying to juggle this and not get clapped. I know this guy's mad. I definitely took this guy's tent. I know he's got to be around. I heard him clapping some zombies. So I want to make sure this is good. Okay. Says, what is DayZ Experimental? DayZ Experimental is a separate DayZ server. It's free for everyone who owns a copy of DayZ on Xbox. The server's purpose is to identify bugs before the official release to the public. Another question is, will my progress on the DayZ Experimental carry over to the live server account? The answer is no. Player data, statistics, etc. from the test server will not carry over to your live account. And then it says, do I need to install a separate game? Well, it's funny, we just answered that, didn't we? Yes, DayZ is an experimental is a separate game that you need to download and install. By playing the DayZ experimental branch, your save data will remain safe. So that way, if there's anything corrupt, it's not going to mess up the main database and your player progression, basically. Who can access the DayZ experimental? All owners of the digital copy of DayZ have access to the DayZ Experimental. Unfortunately, at this time, players who have the game on disk will not be able to participate in the 1.08 update experimental. Since we intend just the experimental branch, you guys will have 1.08 update when it comes out. We intend to correct this in the future. Next question is, how often will the experimental branch see updates? Game updates should be... whoops, sorry, I lost my train of thought here. I was like looking down too. Game updates should land on experimental around 2 to 3 weeks prior to their release during this period. The branch may be updated frequently. Can I access the Xbox experimental branch at any time? That's a good question too. It says, no, the Xbox experimental is not intended as a permanent branch. Servers will only be active during the weeks before the updates. So, there you go. That's the lowdown. So basically, if you have a digital copy, just search for DayZ Experimental on the Xbox, or I should say the Microsoft Store is what it's called. And you should see it there. And currently, as it stands, just because of PS4's, they basically don't have a beta program, or I'm sorry, an early access program, which again, I believe this is very similar to that. I know it's an experimental branch, but they have the same kind of idea there. So currently, no, but let's hope that Sony, you know, eventually adds a program like that, because I hope that they do, right? Like, it seems like it's a huge disservice for the gamers all around. So, anyways, I still get excited for this one on the Xbox, because anything we experience here on the Xbox, you guys very much will see. Oh, it's the rain. You guys very much see, because our copies are so similar to each other. There's some subtle differences, but in all intents and purposes, we have the same version. So, yeah, so if you see bugs here when we're playing live on stream, or we make a video, that's how you know if we're going to basically have issues with the new update. I did not kill that zombie. Okay, so there was a dude here. That's terrifying. I have... What is this, the Mark II? What is this thing called? Oh, I'm scared. Okay. So yeah, we've got a bunch of new things here. The cooking system was revamped on 1.08. We've got building updates, changes. Basically, you can't disassemble things on your base now, or somebody else's base. You have to do lots of damage, whether it be explosions, melee, or shooting something, which really changes things a lot. And more importantly, I think anybody who's done base building currently knows that... or at least on 107 and previous, that the health on those things were extremely low. You could destroy those things in no time. So it looks like the health has been increased. I haven't had a chance to test it yet, but I do know that since we'll be streaming this, that's one of the things we really want to test out, is to see what kind of durability there is on the new building structures. Well, it's the same building structures. And to see, you know, what the new mechanics are, because I know they gave us a general overview, but there's got to be some more finite changes that we want to test, because I'd love to use a base in a more strategic fashion, not only for storing things, but for like position stuff, offense, defense, because you know we do a lot of official stuff, so that's pretty crazy. Okay, so did I talk about the cooking system? I think we do. This little guy right here, I don't know too much yet because we haven't had time to play with it, but this is one of them. This little cooking stove cooks now. I don't think this puts out a lot of smoke or any smoke out of the building, so if you're trying to go incognitus, that will help you tremendously. So that's good. Also, I do know that temperature is a thing, so if you're indoors, at least when we tried experimental branch previously, it looks like indoors can help you a lot. there's some kind of buff going on there, so we'll see if that continues. I don't really see it right now, but we'll see in the future, like maybe if we heat this up, if there's some kind of buff for indoor stuff. So it'll be interesting to see. Another one that we saw, if obviously because I ganked it from this guy, is this Canopy Tent, which is cool. It's almost like a building block in itself. And let me just show you real quick. Hopefully we don't get slept for doing this, right? I know there's a dude outside. There's no zombie there previously. Okay. What's cool is you can stack these together, and by opening the sides, you can kind of create your own little squares for a base, more or less. And also, tents can now be destroyed, and I guess their contents are supposed to spill out onto the ground when that happens. So no longer people can just block doorways. You can actually shoot these down and then pass through them. And that goes for all deployables as far as tents are concerned, which are really cool. I guess these come in different colors, so you can do things like this, and I guess the states persist, which is cool. So we'll have to see what that entails for us, right? And I think you do get cover from the rain, at least under these canopies now. But again, something we'll test live on stream. So an excellent reason to subscribe to the channel if you have not, and turn on those notifications. And we'll be doing a lot of 108 here on the console, and obviously we'll be playing the live branch on console when that does hit. So hopefully it comes out sooner than later for everybody, because I know PlayStation 4 wants to get the updates too, especially with some of the things we've been dealing with in 107, so I feel your pain. We've been waiting for this one for a hot minute. So yeah, so stay tuned. We'll be showing you some more of the hotness here as in the following days. Hopefully it's not weeks, right? Hopefully it comes out soon. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Love you. Bye. Upstairs.